Hi everyone, I'm Manouk Akopyan and I am honored to be joined by long-reigning UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander, you have another big fight and title defense on your hands. February 17 when you headline UFC 298 against the fast-ascending Ilia Taporia. What can we expect from you in this comeback fight and how do you see it unfolding?
You can expect to see the same Volkanovski you've been seeing in that featherweight division for a long time. You can expect me to go out there and show my opponent that what championship level looks like. What a great champion looks like. You know what I mean? I'm expecting to go out there and show him my experience, my fight IQ, and show him that championship level.
You know, you've held the featherweight title for over 4 years, defended the title 5 times. You've beaten Max Holloway 3 times, Brian Ortega, Jose Aldo, the list goes on. Yet, Taporia, who hasn't fought in the caliber of opponents you have, is overly confident, predicting a first round knockout. He's already calling for fights with Conor McGregor. How have you kind of been dealing with this disrespect as well, too?
Look, man, he's just. I think he's playing the game. I mean, you need to be confident. Uh, I think maybe he's just trying to manifest it. You know what I mean? I think he knows his only way of beating me is catching me, so he's trying to manifest this first round finish and try and make that happen. But it just ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna go out there and show him and get another ruby on my belt. And I've trained too hard. I've done everything right. And I think it's he's just going to be in for a rude shock.
Mhm. Do you believe Taporia is deserving of this championship opportunity, considering the caliber of opponents he's beaten?
Oh, look, I think a lot of other fighters have had to fight bigger competition and more competition to be where they are, but it's just the timing for him. He's done a great job marketing himself. So you got to give him credit. He's hyped himself up, put him in this position, and so you got to give him credit for that. He's undefeated. I've already taken out the guys in front of him. So yeah, right now he's the next guy. It is clear, but he's lucky just the timing. Because if if it was a year ago, it wouldn't be him yet. You know what I mean? If he had this same, but it's just the timing of it works. He's doing a great job hyping up the fight. So here he is. He's lucky to get the chance, but he just ain't going to get that belt.
Mhm. And you're confident as well, just as much as he is. I think the only thing you have working against you right now is history and statistics. Everyone knows the stats. Fighters over the age of 35 usually lose to the younger guy in these championship fights. Why do you feel you're invincible for this fight and believe the right man to beat him?
Oh man, I've been different to most the fighters my whole career. I've proved that time and time again. So I don't care about numbers and trends or how people have been or other fighters, other champions. I don't ever think that's me. I've always tried to separate myself from the rest anyway. Through work ethic and I'm driven, passionate. I don't let any other distractions get in the way, and I haven't done that even as champion, especially for this camp as well. So it's just I'm different, and I'm going to show that this weekend. You know what I mean? Like if I started seeing things, slowing down, I'd feel different. I go, maybe this is a thing, but it's just not
Mhm.
for me anyway.
You kind of played on the age bit a little bit ago with that comedic
Yeah.
sketch. Anyone who hasn't seen it, I suggest you check it out. Pretty funny, but you're poking fun at your age. Do you still feel you're in the prime of your career and operating at the peak of your powers, or do you feel Father Time is getting close?
No, man, like I'm definitely still in my prime. I don't know how much longer that's going to last, but I know for now that I'm in incredible nick. I'm definitely still in my prime, and then the experience as well. Like so, I've got this experience. So you're at your peak when you're still in your prime, still you know strong and fast as ever. But then you have that knowledge and experience that I have. Until I start seeing a decline in speed and timing and all that type of stuff, that's when you might start asking questions. But I'm not. So right now, I'm still, at my peak. But how long does that last? We don't know.
We're talking about the losses. So let's talk about the ones to Islam Makhachev. Obviously, you dared to be great, moved up to lightweight, took that second fight on short notice when it perhaps wasn't the best time for you. Losing those fights the way you did, one competitively, one pretty convincingly. Have the rumors of your demise been greatly exaggerated, you feel?
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, like, a lot of people are going to point to the age and things like this. Where if I wasn't 35 and I was 34, like a couple of months earlier, everyone would have been probably pointing to the fact that I had 11 days notice. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that's just how this game is. It's fine. Like, I don't take it personally. It makes this sport exciting when people quickly forget, because now they can be quickly reminded and build a lot of, that makes the victory so much bigger. If everyone was just expecting me to go out there and just walk through my opponent, it's not exciting. So now everyone's thinking, oh, is he done? Is he this? Is he that? I'm going to show you, I'm not done. You can be reminded and then jump back on the bandwagon.
The reason why I believe that's the case is because for 10 years you were unbeaten, 22 wins in a row. We talked about all those names you beat, and dealing with a loss again, I'm sure it was a different feeling for you. How was dealing with those losses hard for you mentally? Because you talked about how it took an emotional toll on you after that last fight.
Oh man, look, it's easy. Obviously, you got the concussion. That's gonna, you got to get through the concussions, which can make you, after a loss. Obviously, it's going to hurt for them that week or two. But I mean, it was easy for me to move on. Like at the end of the day, I look at it as I try to take on a crazy challenge on 11 days notice, and it didn't work out. All right, back on the horse. Let's go. You know what I mean? It was easy for me to move on. I'm not like most. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't. I didn't dwell on it too long because I had this other. I had to go through all the protocols to get back into training. And then I had a guy in front of me anyway. So just so easy for me to shift my energy and direction into the next one. So I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm. And you've perhaps even reached the fork in the road of your career right now, where you're a featherweight icon. You've beaten all the top 5 guys already. Let's say you beat Taporia. Some more legacy-defining fights, big money fights, they're going to be at lightweight for you. Mm-hmm. What's your ideal future, regardless of the results Saturday?
Well, after I get the win, again, I want to be active, and I'm going to want to do the lightweight title. There's no clear guy yet in the featherweight, so while I'm waiting for that and not waiting, I don't want to wait, right? While I'm waiting for featherweight, so I'm not waiting. I'll do a lightweight. There's so many big fights there and exciting fights, and there's still a road to that lightweight title. I am still very confident in that. I just know it's not going to be just an automatic rematch, because I was willing to do that on 11 days notice, and I knew the consequences. If it didn't go my way, I wouldn't be getting it anytime soon. So it was a risk I was willing to take, and a risk, and I failed. Plain and simple.
The UFC lightweight title picture will get kind of cleared up a little bit better. UFC 300 with Tsarukyan facing Oliveira. How do you see that fight unfolding?
Yeah, exactly. I think Tsarukyan gets it done. But yeah, that's right. I think he would be clearly next. Obviously, you've got Justin Gaethje fighting Max. But if Justin Gaethje was to win, obviously he will be fighting as well. But yeah, it just so there's a couple of fights there. But again, for me, I know that it needs to be a little bit of a road back to that title. I can't expect to just get an autumn, just a fight at the champion straight away.
Mm-hmm. Shifting gears for a quick minute, I have to ask you about your Australian brethren making big moves in boxing. Tim Tszyu will be taking on Keith Thurman March 30. Do you believe Tim is the real deal? And how do you see that fight unfolding?
Yeah, I do. I definitely think he's a real deal. Like, I think he's proven that. even with a couple of his last fights, just absolutely walking through some of them. So, obviously this is another test for him that I think he will pass with flying colours. So I'll be tuning in for that for sure.
And do you think he's at the level of the Crawfords, the Spences, and the Canelos, and kind of being competitive at that level?
I mean, well, his mindset and mentality, like, taking on fights when he didn't need to, like when he was in a mandatory, to fight the champ, and then he was willing to just fight other guys. So he's not waiting around. Obviously, I can relate to that, and I respect that so much. So that mindset and mentality takes you a long way. He's only going to get better and better. I can only imagine when you've got that mentality and mindset. I can imagine what he's doing in the gym. I guarantee he's getting better and better every single day. So if he's not at that level now, he can definitely be there one day.
And the other big fight in Australia, George Kambosos versus Vasily Lomachenko. You know, Lomachenko might be going through a little bit of what you're going through, right? 35 years old. A lot of people perhaps writing him off a little bit. Do you think Kambosos will win that fight?
I mean, it's a massive fight. You know what I mean? Obviously, Lomachenko, massive fan of Lomachenko, but obviously a fan of Kambosos, and obviously being Australian, so I'm always going to back the Aussies and back Kambosos. But yeah, it's us. I don't think the age thing's going to be a big factor. I think Lomachenko's still going to be, mate. He's incredible to watch. He's so good to watch. His movement, everything is just incredible. So I'm really looking forward to that fight. But I mean, Kambosos definitely has some problems for him. He is so fast. He's really good with the combos himself. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. Cannot wait. I'll try and make sure I'm there for that one as well.
And you had a great experience, it looked like, the other day for the Los Angeles Kings game. You're wearing the sweater right now. How in a sport like hockey where there's fighting, how would you think you would do as a hockey player?
I think I'll do okay, actually. Yeah, like maybe a bit better back in the day when they had their enforcers and stuff like that. Maybe I would have been better in them days. But yeah, no, mate, I enjoy it. I've been to a couple of games now, a couple of LA King games, and man, it's so fast. Watching it live, especially right there at that seat that I had, man, it is the contact and the speed that they move. Mate, it's so hard to even keep an eye on that puck. That's how fast the game is. So it's pretty cool to watch.
And again, you're in Southern California, headlining UFC 298 in Anaheim, February 17 against Ilia Taporia, looking to defend that featherweight title for a sixth time. Alexander, thank you for the time. Congratulations on making it to this point and through the trenches of training camp, and looking forward to seeing what Saturday looks like for you.
That's it. Hard part done. Now the fun part. Let's go.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.